Right, that should have fixed now. I don't know what was going on with my camera on my screen, but looks like we're back. Um, 1 second. Well, I've got no idea why this stream isn't showing, which is very annoying. There's literally no way for me to share this stream. Fuck's sake, hang on. Can I just delete the other stream as well so I don't have a duplicate? Right, that's the one I'm looking for. Right, okay. This should be the one that actually works now. To get to work. But yeah, we are going to go. Well, I've sorted that self out because for some reason I'm still bugging on this end. We are going to go through Mikel Arteta's press conference. Hopefully, you guys can see me fine. Before we do start, make sure you are smashing the like, subscribing, do whatever you have to do to help this channel grow. And we have got every word from Arteta's press conference because obviously we play Crystal Palace on Sunday, I believe it is. I think it's Sunday at 2 o'clock. Yes, so I actually can watch this game. I'm not actually busy that day, so I can watch it live normally. But there has been some news regarding Gabriel, and it says here on the first point of the stream, Big Gabby has to be the picture of the issue and hasn't been able to train yet. Let's see how he evolves in the next 24 hours, whether he's available or not for the weekend. Insinuating that Gabriel may not be available for the game against Crystal Palace because he did come off injured, it seems, during the game against Atleti. I'm not sure if Hincapié is fit, and to be fair, even Mosquera can play there because I did hear that he did play left centre back quite a bit for Valencia. So more than likely, I think it will be Mosquera who starts. I would have started Gabriel if we are getting these kind of mixed messages regarding his apparent injury. So to be fair, I would probably not start Gabriel and probably wouldn't start Gabriel in this game. However, knowing Arteta and the way he works, he probably will. He probably will start. He probably will start Gabriel. Whether it's the right decision or not, we don't know. But it can only help. It can only help. It can only hope. Sorry. On longer term injuries to Madueke, Odegaard, and Havertz and Jesus, they are progressing really well. They're starting to do certain activities. I'm assuming that's running around without the ball. They're all super willing to be available as quick as possible, but at the moment, none of them are in contention in the next week or so. Obviously, Odegaard is in the latest one to have drops due to an injury, so I think he won't be back until the end of November, which is definitely a long while. On conceding just 3 goals in our first 12 games, and there's a motivation to break Chelsea's record. We want these kind of records. We have been getting a lot of them, and at the end, we want to bring us a silver and trophies. Well done, Mikel. You mentioned something about that at least once. But obviously, the more we can produce, I can think the closer we are getting to be. I think the closer we are getting to be to achieving what we can do, and that defensive record is very good. But we need to be consistent. It's only the start of the season. The aim is to continue to improve things, which we can still do a lot to do even better. And he is right, to be fair. It is early in the season, and we only conceded about 3 goals. However, our defence has been very, very solid. And going to read the chat now while we're doing that. Big up to Charles in the chat, man. And tell me one thing: where do you sit on the Glasner versus Arteta debate? And would you acknowledge Glasner if he gets something at the Emirates, or will you be disappointed with Arteta? In terms of the Glasner Arteta debate, they've got the exact same. Well, no, Glasner's got a better record in management because Glasner equalled Arteta's trophy haul in his stint at Palace. With, let's be real, Crystal Palace isn't a team who should be winning trophies, and the way he's got Palace playing and the way he's got them to win the FA Cup, beating City in the final as well, albeit it wasn't a great Man City at the time, you can only commend him for what he's done. And if Glasner wants to get something at the Emirates, would I acknowledge him? To be fair, I already have acknowledged Glasner, and he is a very good manager. And the fact that they lost Eze, and to be fair, they replaced him with Yeremy Pino. They've lost. He lost Elise last summer. The summer gone before last. And to do what he's doing with that team still. Although to be fair, they lost to Everton in recent weeks, and they drew that game against Bournemouth. Should have won it. Mateta missed a gilt-edged chance. I fully commend him for what he's doing, and if we don't get something at the Emirates, if we don't get something, if Glasner gets something at the Emirates, will I be disappointed in Arteta? I think both points that you made are true. I will acknowledge Glasner because he's come to the Emirates, which is, let's be honest, is a hard place to go for teams, and to get a point is a very good point for most teams. But at the same time, I will be disappointed in Arteta because we are at home. We're Arsenal Football Club and we're in a title race, so we have to be winning our home games. We can't be dropping points stupidly like we done last season. I'm pretty sure we did drop to Palace at home last season, if I remember correctly. Because I think we beat Palace at home last season? No, we drew at home. No, we beat him in the cup and drew in the league, if I remember correctly. But yeah, this is a picture where we dropped points last season, and then if we can get the win, which I think we will, that will add to a list of 3 or 4 games where we've actually picked up the points that we didn't get last season. I think Newcastle, West Ham, Fulham, we've won all 3, and yeah, we drew in the league. Yeah, I think it was a 2-2 if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, to come back to your original point, Charles, I think both things are true in that statement. I will acknowledge Glasner and commend him for getting the points in the league in the game. However, the fact that we're at home, we should be beating this Crystal Palace side. Although they have started the season very, very well, to be fair to him. On Eze coming up against his former club, I've got to mention as well, on the Chelsea record, that record ain't getting broken anytime soon. Let's be completely honest. What was it, 15 goals? The record is, and I think we can maybe get close to it. Assuming our defence stays fit. Although saying that, Gabriel's now reported to be out. It's a hard record to break. I don't think we will break it. I don't think that record will ever get broken. Same as the Invincible record. I don't think that will ever get broken ever again, for as long as I'm alive anyway. But what I can say is that Arteta has set up a very stable defensive unit. The problem is going the other way. Well, to be fair, we have been, especially against the game against Atletico Madrid, we have been scoring a few goals recently. And they're coming up against his former club this weekend. It's a big game for us because last season we dropped some points, and it's the 4th game in a row that we are going to play against opponents that we drop points against, like I just said a minute ago. And this season we've been able to beat them. So our focus is on that. We know that Palace Ebbs is going to be a very special match with the history and what he did for Palace, but the focus is on the team. Yeah, as they're coming up against his former club, I do expect him to perform. He will definitely start. He will be in that number 10 position. Played very well against Atletico Madrid, to be fair to him, because before that Fulham game, he was fucking terrible. He was pretty much non-existent in that game. But yeah, I don't think he will not be starting in that game. But if our previous game against Palace forms part of our messaging for this one, if you want a very different outcome, we better do everything different. We better do very different things than we did last year, especially in these fixtures. We know what Palace are doing, what Glasner is doing for the football club, like you just said in the chat, Charles, and the way they are getting results. So it's going to be a really tough match. We're going to play in front of our crowd, and we are confident that we can hit our level. We have a big chance to win it. That's what I mean. We're at home. We should be winning these type of games. On the challenge of leaving players out of the team, given the strength of the squads, there are two sides to it. One, the emotional part and my attachment with the individual, with the person. I would love to play all of them, but the second one, obviously, without a doubt, I'd rather have this situation than the situation we had the last few years when at some point we were very short in numbers. So we have created a very strong environment, a really competitive and supportive environment. Hopefully can challenge to be very competitive in game. That's the aim and that's what we want to achieve. And we just all go towards that direction. Yeah, we actually got a squad for once, and Mikel, mate, you better fucking win something this season. Because yeah, he's got everything in place now. He's got everything he wants, everything that he needs. He has to deliver a trophy this season. And we've said that so many times. I've said that so many times on this channel, but it is the cold, hard truth. Make sure I actually went up on my Twitter properly. Yes, did. On Mateta's form and how to stop him, first of all, it's what they do as a team, their level of organisation. They have very clear intentions of how they want to attack and which moment they use to attack and to hurt the opponent. So stopping the source is probably the best way when you get into certain situation with him, 1v1. You know that he's very prolific and he has been very, very successful, especially recently, in trying to avoid that. And yeah, Mateta, massive problem, mate. So tell me, bro, big up to Charles, by the way. So tell me, bro, when rivals say we have spent so much and that we have to win this year, and then in parallel, they say we will not win it because we have bottled it. So tell me when Arteta spent so much time. Arteta is outside top 10 manager, which is, I think it's both. We have to win it because this guy's been spoon-fed so much money, but at the same time, that's why they believe he won't win it because of the manager. But and look, I think two things can be true at once, and that's, to be fair, that is the thing that that's where I sort of lay in that sort of bracket. We have to win it this year. We have to win the trophy this year. However, I personally do not have the belief that he will get us over the line. If it was a different manager who had experience in winning, who is a serial winner, I would have a whole different energy when it comes to this. But I think people know, based off the past years that Arteta has been at Arsenal, he will not get over the line. And I think they're saying that he needs to win it because, like you said, the amount of money that he spent, the squad he's got, because we have got a very, very good squad now. We've got depth in that squad. We have got quality in that squad, especially in attack. We bolstered our quality from last season in terms of getting the likes of Eze into the club. So I think both things. I think both is true, and the whole debate about Arteta being a top 10 manager in the I think the debate was in the world. I can't remember if it was in the league or in the world, because I think if I was to name managers off the top of my head right now, Hansi Flick, Luis Enrique, I think Glasner's better than Arteta, to be honest with you. Glasner, Iraola is a very good coach. But to be fair, he hasn't won anything yet, so we can't really say that much. Guardiola, obviously, you've got to say Maresca because he's actually won. He's actually won things. He's actually got it over the line in the competitions. Who else can you put in that category? To be fair, any manager who's actually won things in their career. Xabi Alonso's won a treble. Vincent Kompany's won a league with Bayern Munich, and people will say, "Oh yeah, you can win. Anyone can win it with Bayern." You still got to win it. Thomas Tuchel came in there, didn't do it, and Thomas Tuchel as well. He's got it over the line. That's another one. Ange Postecoglou. Say what you want about him, but he did deliver in his second season at Tottenham, so you kind of have to give him that. And if I can think of one more, who's got it over the line, who has even Carlo Ancelotti, you can even say him. Carlo Ancelotti, I think he's managing right now because he's obviously managing Brazil. So I guess you can put him in that category as well. I don't get it. So if he's outside top 10, then let's not expect anything then. I think what it is, I think it's the expectation is there. Like, we expect him to win. Like, okay, if I was to word it differently, we're basically demanding him to win a trophy. That's probably the better wording. I expect him. Obviously, the expectation is based off the money he spent. So based off the players that he's got and the money that he spent, he is expected, just, you know, he's expected logically to win a trophy, but we know he's not going to win it. We're demanding him based off the money that he spent to win a trophy. The expectation of Arsenal Football Club is to win trophies. However, I do not expect him to win any trophies, and that is because of based off factual evidence. From last season and the season before that and the season before that. Why do Arsenal fans have expectations then? To be fair, a lot of Arsenal fans are saying that this year's the year. But if I'm being completely honest, they said that last year. A lot of Arsenal fans said that if anyone but Arsenal wins the league, then Arteta should go. Arne Slot comes in, wins the league, but Arteta's not a fault because we had injuries and refereeing decisions, all that bollocks basically. But yeah, Arsenal fans, especially a lot of them online, are a weird bunch. On what the conversation with Victor Gyökeres was like after his 2 goals, he did not need a conversation. He just needed a hug, right? And just look at him and enjoy how happy he was after the game. And I think we were all very happy because he fully deserves that. Let's be real, that was a jammy brace at the weekend and during the midweek for Victor Gyökeres. However, he got the goals. Hopefully, that gives him a bit of confidence now because he started the season underwhelmingly. Let's just be completely honest. He scored 5 goals now, but there are some things that I've liked occasionally, but there's a lot of things that I didn't like, that I don't like at the minute from him. And I said that quite a few videos recently. On our perfection with set pieces, with work, first of all, creating the culture, given that the part of the game, the importance that it has, understanding that, again, football is evolving and that the opponents are behaving against us. We have to maximize certain things that happen very frequently. These fucking retainers I swear, if any of you who wear retainers right in your teeth, it's so annoying to speak in it when you got to emphasize your words so much. And I've got to wear mine about 10 hours a day, which is very annoying because I've hardly worn it today either. So yeah, these fucking things to keep my teeth in place are, it's annoying to speak and I can't lie. To maximize certain things that happen very frequently. So something that happens very frequently has a lot of value to us, so trying to maximize that and be effective. And a lot of people criticize the set piece thing. Me personally, I don't mind it as long as we are scoring from open play, which, yes, we're not scoring a lot from open play because I think most of our goals are from set pieces this season. We are still scoring goals from open play and from set pieces. And to be fair, what the fuck? Okay, what? Right, okay. Don't know what that was. But yeah, I'm happy with the way we deal with set pieces. Now, we've got one of the best set piece takers and the best set piece scorers in the league in terms of Gabby Magalhaes and Gabby Magalhaes and Declan Rice. And if we're trying to replicate Arsene Wenger's success with the tight back 4, I go back through the history of football in general, and the teams that have the best defensive record most of the time except for the last 3 seasons in Premier League, which we did. Normally, you win the league. So just go against those stats. But the stronger we are in that foundation, the bigger the probability of winning games is. I hear that, but defense can win you titles, but attacks win you games, and winning games wins you titles. So that's a sort of double-ended argument that he's saying. But we yeah, our open play goals, like I said, they have to be coming a lot more often, in my opinion. Quite a few questions here. I can't lie. I'm going to go through all of them. On what Martin Zubimendi has added to the midfield, well, every player is different. We have some terrific midfielders here. He brings certain hierarchy, certain composure that's very difficult to understand. And then the way he perceives information and learns from the game and what is actually happening in the game at that speed is remarkable. And I think again about him, it was about unlocking certain spaces and his capacity to look further and to hold a position when his teammates are further from the ball than himself. And yeah, he can add goals. If he can add goals to it, even better. And to be fair, he is starting to impress. Oh, 1 second. What's happening here? Right, I'm back. No, what the fuck happened there? Oh yeah. So do you like us being corner esque to unlock defences, or are you in the ruined so-called Great British Beautiful Football category? I like seeing both. I think set pieces, they're a part of the game. I like seeing us score them frequently as we do. However, you can't just rely on set pieces the whole season because it is unsustainable. I want to see good football because we're Arsenal Football Club and we have a history of playing good football. And if we can get goals and set pieces to add to that, we can have both. And in that 23-24 season when we were slapping teams left, right, and centre, we had both. We had loads of set piece goals and we had open play goals. We were banging teams about 5-6 goals for fun in that sort of 2024 spell. So I believe we can do both. I like beautiful football because football is a form of entertainment as well as an elite sport. And I like the fact that we can score from corners and we are threatening from set pieces. On if it, wait, what? On if this is phase 5, no, this is not about phase, it's a phase with something else. Okay, so if phase 5 wasn't now, what the fuck was phase 5 then? What? Okay, I don't know what the fuck that was about. Right, okay. So I've got fucking football manager running in the background, so I don't know what's actually happening there. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of the press conference, really. But yeah, we obviously do play Palace tomorrow. Starting 11 wise, um, I don't think it will change much from the game against Atletico Madrid. I wouldn't be surprised if he plays Trossard. Calafiori will start instead. So I think the starting 11 will be David Raya in goal, Mosquera and Saliba, assuming Gabriel is fit. Calafiori will start. Timber will start. Zubimendi, Rice, and Eze as the midfield three, and then trying to think because he's rested. I think he will start Leandro Trossard, even though Martinelli did score. Because and then I think he will start obviously Gyökeres and then Bukayo Saka. So I guess that's going to be my midfield. My starting 11. Midfield hasn't changed. Attacking, I think Trossard comes in for Martinelli, and then Calafiori, based on the fact he never played against Atletico Madrid, I think he will start that game. Score prediction, I'm going to go 2-0 to Arsenal. I think we'll keep a clean sheet. I think it will continue our good defensive record. I think it will be a good game, actually, because Palace are a very good team, and you can't actually downplay them too much. But I think we will win that game 2-0. I'm going to end it here. Decent press conference. He didn't waffle a lot apart from phases argument, but yeah, we're going through the press conference now. The game we play on Sunday. Let's see what other games are. See what other games there are. Because I have no idea who actually play. Okay, so Leeds and West Ham play tonight, which won't be a good game. Leeds are towards the bottom, aren't they? Leeds are 15th and then West Ham are 19th. So yeah, if Leeds win there, they'll be quite a bit clear from the relegation zone until their teams around them play. But then, okay, so Chelsea, Sunderland play tomorrow. Newcastle, Fulham, Man United, Brighton at 5:30. What they'll most likely lose that. Let's be completely honest. Brentford, Liverpool. Would not be surprised at all if Brentford win that game. Wolves, Burnley, Crystal Palace, Arsenal, obviously. Arsenal, Crystal Palace. Aston Villa, Man City, that'll be a good game. Everton, Tottenham, that'll be a good game as well, to be fair. Then Bournemouth versus Nottingham Forest. Iraola against Dyche. Now we Dyche the Premier League debut as well. But yeah, I think we will stay. I think Man City will win their game. Because I think Aston Villa lost to Go Ahead Eagles and some stupid team like that in the Europa League. I can't remember what team they actually played when they lost to it. Let's have a look now. They played quite a strong team, to be fair. Aston Villa played quite a strong team as well. But yeah, I'm going to end it here. Because of everyone that's been locked in, like, subscribe, and share the content around. Put your comments in, team selection, team predictions, score predictions, whatever, in the comment section below, and I'll see you lot in a bit.